Welcome back to Talk of the Town. With everybody hitting the roads this summer, there's a lot of opportunities for breakdowns on the road. And trust me, it ain't fun. It happened to me 2 summers ago in a cornfield in Indiana. It was not fun. Our go-to mechanic, Paul Kenny from Precision Tune, is here with some important advice. As always, good to have you with us here and everything.
Always good to be back. See if we can help some folks out and get them ready for the road, get ready for summer vacation.
Good, good. Mine was a water pump issue, so it's one of those things that we really couldn't detect ahead of time. But there are some other things that people can do to make sure that they're better prepared for hitting the road. So let's talk about fluids.
Okay, well, fluids, number one. Of course, you found out with your water pump. I'm not going to ask why you were in the middle of a cornfield. But before you hit the road,
there's nothing but cornfields in Indiana.
Yeah, there's no water in the cornfield, right? Okay. Yeah, when you get ready to hit the road, you want to check your fluids. You want to make sure you got plenty of antifreeze. Always make sure if you take the radiator cap off that the car is not warm. First thing in the morning is a good time to do it. A couple of days before you leave out on your trip is even a better time to do it. So if you do have an issue, you can do it. Do a quick check on your transmission fluid and your brake fluid and power steering, and just kind of do a once over underneath the hood. Might save you some time on the side of the road. All
right, let's talk about number 2 on this, making sure that we've got proper pressure in our tires.
Okay, tire pressure, yes. Everything has to do with heat. In the winter, it's of course important, but during the summer, it's even more because as the tires drop pressure, the heat raises up. And, Ford had a couple problems with that years back with tire pressure getting too low and tires coming apart. You don't want that to happen. Make sure you have adequate pressure in your tires. If you don't know where that is or what it's supposed to be at, look in your owner's manual or on the side of your door frame. When you open your door, there's a little label right there and it will tell you your tire pressure.
All right. Air conditioning, especially in the summertime, we don't want to be without air.
Well, it's a comfort, but with older drivers or people with kids, something like that, it can also be a safety thing. It needs to be cold coming out of there. If it's not running right, or if it's cold sometimes and not at other times, it's not working right, and it's making everything work harder in the system, because as the Freon gets low, the oil in the system gets low. If you don't think it's working right, take it to a shop and have it checked out. You also want to listen when you have your air conditioning on, and it's kind of something you don't notice inside the car, but you should hear the fans running. If you're standing in front of the car, it almost sounds like a vacuum cleaner in the next room. Have somebody turn your air conditioner on. You hear that hum come on, you know your fans are working good. Just a quick check you can kind of do yourself.
Okay. All right. Should we just have a check for recharging, or is that something that's still done on newer cars?
Yes. The newer the car is, the less that you'll have to do this. Cars, as they get older, the seals leak a little bit, and you will have some seepage on that. So it's just a good idea to have it checked. Every few years you may have to have it topped off and checked for a leak as well.
Okay. And let's talk about filters. We want to make sure that those filters are properly checked and clean.
And clean, yes. The air filter is important for the car, for the engine, because your car is basically just a big vacuum going down the road. You also have in these newer cars a cabin air filter. Usually it's located behind the glove box, and it's getting all the pollen, all the dirt, everything that's coming into the passenger compartment. It's cleaning all that nasty stuff out, and you wouldn't believe what we find in there. So that's something you can usually have checked, by your local shop. It's not a big deal. Some of them are actually accessible. If you get your owner's manual out, it may tell you that you can do it yourself.
All right, one final one. Let's talk about battery and the battery check.
Battery. The heat eats more batteries than the cold, in my experience. Have it checked. Make sure your battery terminals are clean. If you open the hood and you look at your battery and the terminals look like a Hostess snowball, you've got so much corrosion that battery's not going to do well. in the heat, everything's working harder. That battery has to work harder too. Do yourself a favor. Make sure it's clean. Make sure that it's in good shape. And if you have to, have it replaced before you head out. If it's 3-4 years old, it's going to be failing soon. So, have that done, because you don't want to get out on the road and have problems with the wife and kids, going to Disneyland.
I was with the kids, and it was not fun. We had to spend the night up in Indiana.
Oh, there you go.
Thank you, as always. Great information for being with us. You will find Paul Kinney at the Precision Tune on Murfreesboro Road, and we will link you to their info at newschannel5.com.